This is for my website for both the disclaimer and demonstration. Disclaimer and release of liability. You as a user agree that using any or every part of this service is entirely at your own risk. Pastoral counseling services are provided as is, without warranty of any kind, either express or implied, including without limitation any warranty for information services, counseling, uninterrupted access, or products and services provided through or in connection with this service. The service is requested at the user's own choice and with inherent singular responsibility. The user agrees that the use of all or part of the service is entirely at the user's own risk. Any actions or lack of actions taken by the recipient of such advice is done solely by choice and responsibility of the recipient and is neither the responsibility nor liable of John Al. This service is not meant to be a substitute for counseling or treatment for suicidal ideation or severe psychiatric problems. This service is an excellent way to gather individualized information by which decisions can be made. When asking for ministerial-based counseling assistance, advice, or coaching on a personal problem, it's important the user understand the limitations of discussions when using this service. No assumption of responsibility is made or given, and the party requesting such advice agrees not to hold the pastor responsible or liable in any form or fashion for such actions taken of their own accord. The method and process by which this advice and direction are given in no way would constitute an agreement or liability on the part of the provider, and is acknowledged to be different in many ways than a one-on-one clinical or psychological counseling process. Upon reading or hearing this, you understand, in consideration of the services provided by John Al, do hereby remiss and release from any and all prosecuting legal action as a direct or indirect result or of own actions, understanding that it is specific intent and purpose of this legal binding understanding to release and discharge all claims and causes of action of any kind or nature which are directed toward counselor, pastor, coach, or corporation. This includes causes which are known or unknown, specifically mentioned or implied or not mentioned nor implied, which might exist or be claimed to exist at or prior to the date of this understanding. The buyer further specifically waives any claims or right to assert that any cause of action or claim or demand has been, through oversight or error, intentionally or unintentionally omitted from this release. The buyer also understands that counselor, pastor, coach, or corporation is a personal coach and ordained pastor counselor, but might not be licensed in your state. Also, when the term counseling or counselor is mentioned above, it does not refer to psychological state licensed professional, psychiatric, or clinical medical advice. The advice is based on how to think rationally and clearly from a shamanic perspective only. The nature and source of all information given comes from the minister and therefore is spiritual, or sometimes referred to ministerial counseling or coaching. John Al is also not responsible for the download of or condition and integrity of the product bought. The product is manufactured or downloaded by a different or third party, and therefore they are liable for this part of the product. Okay, this is for my website. This is a demonstration session. It's going to be very quick. You will have just seen the disclaimer. And at this point, I'm going to explain and demonstrate a very quick session just so you can get an idea of what the setup is. You're going to be listening to a session through an audio device. What you would do is you'd put your audio device right beside you so that you can turn it on and off. Then what you do is you relax. Listen to my voice. When I'm in a session with a client one-on-one, I have them look at my shoulders. My words are they're there to go in. You don't need to pay attention to them hard. This is not hypnosis and this is not trancing, but it is a way of trying to work with your subconscious, spirit, self, being, however you want to look at it. So taking that in mind, please sit back and relax for a moment. I have no agenda. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to do anything abrupt or to change your personality. Please keep that in mind. I am a shaman. I am very neutral. I am not here to influence you away from your own beliefs. I am here to actually help you find you. And whatever belief that falls underneath. So, with that in mind, take a deep breath, please. There you go. Now, if you're watching your computer and you're wanting to understand what a demonstration is about, hopefully you've listened a little bit and read up on everything before you've come to the demonstration. Because the whole idea is, for this to work, you have to understand, one, the connection between the body and the spirit. You need to understand how energy can accumulate or block what's going on. And when I say that, remember, please, I've stated it in other areas on my website. I've also wrote it down and I put it in other videos. Energy, the negative energy is what we go after. So, keeping that in mind, that's what in a regular session we would be going after. You have to be willing to accept that I have no agenda for you. That's one of the prerequisites. I have no agenda. You have to be able to trust my voice, and you have to be able to relax enough to allow this to happen. That's it. It's not hard. And it can take a couple times, just because some people may not be able to relax the first time. And some people may feel not quite comfortable with my voice right away. So please, do this a couple times. Normally, it does eventually work. And what I'm saying about working is a demo. So, having said that, again, sit back, take another breath. There you go. Now, look at either one of my shoulders if you're watching on your monitor. And while you're doing that, allow my words to go in. We're not going to do anything strenuous. I'm not going to try to get anything hard out of you. This is not to be a stressful time or a stressful question. I'm just simply going to ask now, will Healing in the Human and the Being sessions work with you? Yes or no? Thank you. Okay, now allow yourself to think, did you get a reaction? And it doesn't have to be a strong reaction, but a reaction. Did you, when I said yes or no, and I snapped my finger, did you feel the need to say yes or no to it? Did you get a picture in your head? Or did you feel a jerk, a pull? If any of those happens, then I can tell you that there's a good chance Healing the Human and the Being will work. That's all it is. It's not hard. The demonstration, I don't have to get it. I don't have to make it complicated, and I didn't. If you want, try it again. Sit back again. Second time, maybe you just didn't quite know what to expect, so let's try it again. So sit back. Will Healing the Human and the Being help you, yes or no. Now, if you got a yes or a no, believe it or not, even if you got a no, it's going to work. Because at that point, that tells me, and it should tell you, that jerk, that pull, that says the Spirit wants something. It's willing to listen. That's the important part. You got the pull. When I sit down with my clients, for about an hour before I do anything with them, I sit down and explain to them everything that I can about body, spirit. And at the very last, we do a quick mini session just like what we did. And normally I will get some form of reaction from them. And I'll even get no's, and they'll sit there and say, but I want to go through healing. It's not, you can get no and still want to go through healing. Understand, it's a matter of the right question. Because you're not here with me, I can't go through and ask questions. I can only give you one question and hope that you get some form of reaction. Once you get a reaction, all you need is a reaction. Once you get a reaction, it will work. That's all that has to happen, is it will work. So, again, take a deep breath. You just did a little tiny mini session, and I hope you got some results. I hope this finds you in good health, and you have a good day, and hopefully I will be able to coax you and help you to your light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you.